Friends, my name is Asmit Srivastav and today I am going to discuss with you this problem of the lead code. So let's start with the problem statement. You are given the two integer arrays series 1 and series 2. So just two integer arrays series 1 and series 2. Each element in both series is one of the form timestamp and value, where timestamp is the integer representing the time. Value is the integer representing the value at that time stamp. Means for each of the series, you will have a two n cross 2 matrix in which the time stamp is representing the current time and value is the integer that is representing the value of any integer. So it is also given that each array is sorted in strictly increasing order of the timestamp. Means for both of these series 1 and series 2, the timestamp will be in the strictly increasing order. That is, the time will definitely going to increase for any timestamp not present in a series. What is written for any timestamp not present in a series? You have to focus on this statement. A series. That means it may be possible that the timestamp is present in the one series while it is not present in the other series, or the vice versa, or it is also possible that that timestamp is present in both of the series. So let's start. For any timestamp not present in a series, its value is taken from the next available timestamp in the same series if one exists. Otherwise, its value is considered zero. So what it want to say? Let's start with the board. So here I am going to showcase you what I want to say. Uh, it is saying that you have two integer arrays. This one, this is the timestamp. One, two, it can be any timestamp, 5 or 8. Similarly, you can have another array in which timestamp will be like this: 1, 3, 5, and 9. So as you can see that this timestamp is present in both of the series, while this 2 is not present in the second series. So you will be considering a value associated with the next timestamp. Like if you have the 2, then you will be looking for any timestamp in the next series that is just greater than the current timestamp, like 3, like 3, only 3, as you just have to consider the next greater. You cannot consider 5 or 9. And if here is the 9, in the 9, in the other series you don't have any time series, so you will not be going to add any value to get associated with that timestamp. So this is the problem statement. Like for any timestamp not present in a series, its value will be taken from the next available timestamp in the same series if one exists. Otherwise, its value will be zero. Uh, yeah, and then it is written that the aggregated series is the series that you have to return. Aggregated series is formed by summing the corresponding values from both the series at every timestamp that appear in either series. So you have to create an aggregated series that will be formed by the corresponding sum from both of the series. Like in this example, you when you will be forming the aggregated series, the timestamp will be like this: 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, and 9. So the point of concern is that if there is any timestamp, then it can be present in both of the series, or it will be present in either of the series. Like 2 is in the first series, while it is not present in the another series. So when you will be forming the aggregated series, then you will be considering these timestamps. And for these timestamp, you also have to calculate the associated sum. So let's move to the problem statement. It has shown that the aggregated series will be found by summing the corresponding value. So you have to calculate the sum of the corresponding values. Like here, if there is any value present like a and b, then at this at this index in the corresponding series, you will be having a plus b, and if there is only one value, like if here is only c, then you will only be placing the c. And if there is only d, sorry, I did a mistake. Previously it was mentioned that if the timestamp is not present in the series, then you have to consider the next series. So, in this case, since 2 is not there in the other series, you will be summing it with the next value, that is d. So, here it will be c plus d. And if there is no next series, like here it is only x, then you at this point you will have x plus 0. So this is the problem statement. Now let's move to the test cases. You have the series 1 and series 2. In the series 1, it has been mentioned the timestamp like 1 3 1 3, and 1 1 4, 4 is also there, that is taken from the first series. 2 is there, 2 timestamp is there, that is taken from the second series. 5 is there, that is taken from the second series. And you also have to calculate the summed value. So let's start with this one. Here you have 1 comma 3. Since 1 is not there in the other series, so from the series 2 you will be calculating the next timestamp of this. Like you have 2 comma 2, so you will be picking the 2. So the sum will be 3 plus 2, that is 5. This is the summed value. For the timestamp 2, for the 2 timestamp, you will be uh, here is the timestamp. Like in the series 1, you have series 1. Yeah. Here, uh, for the next timestamp, you have 4 in the first series. Like after uh, 20th timestamp, you have the next greatest element, that is 4 in the first series, and its corresponding value is 1. So you are taking the 1 as here. So 1 plus 2, you will be getting 3. For the timestamp phone 4, that is from the series 1, its associated value is 1. And in the other series, the next timestamp after the 4 is 5, and its associated value is 2. So the sum will be 3. In the 5, since there is no next element, no next timestamp in the first series after the 5, so you are considering here the 0. And here is the value associated with the 5. So the summed value will be 2. So this is the first test case. Now let's move to the second one. You have 1 comma 5, 3 comma 1, 2 comma 2. Here the unique timestamps are 1, 2 and 3. So it is sorted by the timestamp 1, 2 and 3. Let's consider with the 1. For the 1th timestamp, you have the associated value 5 in the first series. For the series 2, you have the next value, that is 2. Since 1 is not there, you will be considering the next timestamp. So the summed value will be 7. For the 12th timestamp, you have the associated value 1. Like after the 2th timestamp, you have the 3th timestamp that is present in the first series and its value is 1. So you take here 1, and from the from the original series you have the associated value 2. When you will do the sum, it will be 3. Similarly, for the third timestamp, you have this one. So you can also consider this test case as also. So this is about the problem statement. So let's start with the implementation part of this question. So since you have to return the list of integers, so let's firstly create the thing that we have to return. Like this is the list. I named this like this. You can give it any custom name that you want, and you will be returning that thing. So here I am going to use the two pointer approach. So let's see how the two pointer approach will work in this. So let's take the example of this. Uh, so let me copy this one. Uh, Here is the, wait a minute. Uh, let me do some coloring, like this one. Color, let it be black. Uh, let me type clearly. It will be better. Wait a minute. Let me do some editing. Uh, Bold, theme color black. Yeah. So this is the test case. So what I want to convey is that firstly you can consider the since the first subarray is already sorted by the timestamp, and the second subarray is also sorted by the timestamps. Like it has been mentioned in the problem as well. Like the each array is sorted in the strictly increasing order of the timestamp. So we don't have to worry about the timestamp as it is sorted in both the arrays. So since we have to return aggregated array, so let's firstly look how many unique stamp points we have, timestamps we have. In this example, we have these unique timestamp: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 1, 4, 2, 5, and also no, wait a minute, 3 is not there. Uh, Let me remove this thing. Uh, let's do. So these are the timestamps I have. Since I have the one, okay, and that one is not what I am doing is I am taking the two pointers. Like first one will start from here and the other will start from here. Okay, since firstly I will check whether the timestamp at both the subarray is same or not. Like this might be possible that one is present here and one is also present here. In that case, I will be summing the corresponding values directly. But in this test case, one is only present in the first array. So I will be once it is not present, once the timestamp is not present in both the sub arrays, then I will check what is the minimum timestamp. Like I have here 1 and here the 2th timestamp. So the minimum is 1th timestamp, and the index at which I am standing, I will just I will just sum its associated value with this one. Like, let's take the example. Let's say I1 is 0 and I2 is also 0. Uh, since I1 and I2 both are zeros and the timestamp is also different, so the one that is the minimum, I will take that timestamp and sum its value with the index with the value present in the second subarray. So here I will be getting 3 plus 2. So that is 5. Okay. And since I have processed this unit, so I will move my I1 pointer to this location. Now I will again compare both of these. Since the timestamp is also different, so I will check which is the minimum timestamp. Like here, 2 is the minimum timestamp. So just take the associated value first and the value at which you are in the other array. Like, in the I1 I am here, so I will be taking the its value. So I will be taking 1. So the sum will be 3. Now I have processed 2 as well. So I will move this pointer and I will be pointing at this location. Here I have the timestamp 5 and here I have the timestamp 4. Since both timestamps are different, uh, I will I will firstly process the minimum timestamp among these two. Since 4 is the minimum, so I took the associated value and the value associated in the second index as well. It is 2. So this will be what 3. And now since I have processed the fourth, so I will be out of this array. And here I have the five timestamps. Since firstly I will take its value, and since in the other subarray I don't have any corresponding value, so I will just take it as 0 and the sum will be 2. And since this is also get processed, so I will be out of the loop and I have processed the whole both of these series. So this is the approach. So let's start with the coding, and when I will be doing coding, you will understand how things are working on. So let's rename it is with A1 and A2. So I don't have to type too long. Consider two pointers I1 barabar 0, I2 barabar 0. Okay. So the standard two pointer templates. I also have to consider the N1 and N2 pointer. A1 dot length and N2 is A2 dot length. Okay, so N1, while both of these indexes are within the bound, so I will firstly check whether the timestamp is same in both the subarrays. Like if A1 of I1 comma 0 is equal to A2 of I2 comma 0, that is same timestamp for both of the both of series, you can say. So if this is the case, then in the list I will simply be adding the timestamp and the associated values. Like new array list, arrays dot as list. I am calling this inbuilt method of the Java. so I don't have to create a separate. It just I have reduced the syntax, nothing else. Everything you can also create a separate array list, then add it to this main list. So since I have reduced the syntax, so I am using this approach. You can prefer the manual approach as well. So in the aggregated series, firstly you have to uh, uh, add the timestamp. So the timestamp is a1 of I1 comma 0. You can also put like a2 of I2 comma 0, but since both are same, there is no need of that. And you have to add the values like the the integer that is representing the value. So this and this a2 of I2 comma 1. And since I have processed both the indexes, so I can simply increment these two pointers like this. Okay, so I created the array list. I just added the timestamp. Thereafter, I added the corresponding values. This might be possible that like the timestamp of the first array is less like this. So in that case, I have processed the uh, let me write some comments. The first series. So let's copy paste this thing. New array list. Here I am considering the timestamp of the first array. So this is the timestamp, and since I have processed only the first sub-array, so there is no need of incrementing the pointer of the other sub-array. So just remove this thing. Okay, and the last condition, like for the cleanliness, I am writing this thing, or you can just simply write else because only three conditions are possible. So this might also be possible. In that case, a similar syntax. Uh, Here I am processing the second element. Uh, Here A2 because I am looking at the timestamp of the second subarray, and I have processed the first one. So just increment that pointer. This might be possible that after, uh, as you can see that, let's say you have two subarrays, okay, and let's say you have processed this completely, and here at this point you are at this point. So you have to process the remaining fraction as well, and the vice versa can also be possible, like the first one is like this and the other one is like this, and you have done the processing of the first array and the second array has left somewhere, so you need to process this part of the array as well. So here I1 less than n1, this is what remaining fraction of first array, first series you can say. Here a similar type of syntax, new array list, even of and since I can either remove this or for the cleanliness I can say 0, as it in the problem statement it was mentioned that the value is considered to be 0. You can ignore this, but it's your choice. Similarly, this might be possible that the second sub array is also unprocessed at some point of time. So this too. A2. Uh, for the cleanliness, you can write it like this: 0, comma A2 of I2, comma 1. Uh, yeah, second index. So this is the whole procedure. It is a simple problem. This is just a two-pointer approach. Here I have doing the two-pointer approaches. So now let's try to run this problem. Let's see what will happen. What is this? Sorry, here should be A2 routes length. Memory limit exceeded. Wait a minute. I1 less than N1 and I2 less than N2. If the first timestamp is same, then I took the timestamp, I incremented the I1 pointer and incremented the I2 pointer as well. If the first series has less timestamp, then I consider the first timestamp, and since has been processed, so I increment the I1 pointer. And if the other pointer is there, so I consider that and I incremented that as well, while I1 less than N1. Yeah, sorry, here you have to do I2 plus plus. This is the, now let's try to submit this one. So it has been accepted successfully. Thank you for your support.